Wine? You took that shit. That's all
Yeah,
I'm
I
saying.
I
mean, it's one of
appreciate you.
those
I
things,
appreciate
and
it.
this is the thing, right? Like
Like no
I
disrespect
know
to
how
QB or whatever,
I
but
know how
that's how
Sarah
it is.
feels, like because
Right.
I felt that way, right? Like, but you know how many like more fans I got from my like what I feel is like my worst battle, like my battle with Rhetoric Ramirez. I feel like that's like my worst battle, and like that's probably the battle I get my most fans from because people just
I
like
like
they
that
watch
battle.
it
Yeah.
and they're like, yo, I like your style better. I like you.
Right.
You know, and it's just a preference thing. That's the
Yeah.
thing with battle rap. You know, it's just a fucking
Yeah, it's
preference.
that preference game came into play. But the first thing I told QB was instantly was, yo, I'm getting you in grind time. Fuck this shit. Like, yo, we got
Word.
to make this
No, I
happen.
remember. I was there for all of it, yo. So I
And
remember.
I then when we started planning an event and PH and Penn were like, so what are we gonna do? And I was like, yo, it gotta be Goddess and QB. This is gonna make history. I think QB is gonna change. For me, QB, where Goddess and me represented changing the game for studs, right? And AGs. And I say this lingo because this is for butchy AGs. Butchy women for our lingo in the hood and urban communities is AG or stud or whatever the case may be, right? They look more like a man, just to give you that quick definition. Um, so me and Goddess are wholeheartedly responsible for putting that work in her Midwest, me, New York, right? But when QB came into play, and I remember telling the guys this, I was just like, she can really change the game and bring this level of because when I battled her, I was like, yeah, somebody that was just like me, not afraid to be vulgar, not afraid to be disrespectful, not afraid to say all this crazy next level shit. And I was like, yo, Dutch, she's just like me. She don't give a fuck. She don't give a fuck. It's gonna be crazy. Watch, watch. And when that battle happened, if you go back and you watch Young Goddess versus QB, everybody's reaction in the crowd was like, oh shit. Because I believe in round two, she came right out the gate like, bitch, shut the fuck up. And it wasn't like she said anything like so amazing and crazy. But at that time in female battle rap, other than myself or Goddess, they had never experienced a female being that raw, right? So
Yeah,
after
big
that, everybody
facts.
was like, yo, oh shit, QB, QB,
Yeah,
QB, QB. And I was like, yo, we just keep booking her, man. It doesn't matter. Just keep booking up, keep booking Goddess, keep booking. Like, and then it turned out that I didn't want to do a female league at that time. And Dutch was around for that too. And rest in peace to my brother PH. But what everything PH taught me and what I was learning, I wanted to do something special where I had a conglomerate of females that were traveling together to different battle leagues and battle, right? I didn't want to do a league. I wanted to start this conglomerate of females where they were going to different states and battling, where it
I
could
didn't say it back
inspire.
then, but you know, I think that like that's kind of like the Harlem Globetrotters of female in battle rap.
That's
Right?
Like
what it
Because
that would have
sounds
been
like.
yo,
amazing.
it was like
That would have been
I was
amazing.
like, I think I was getting, I had my verse, Oh Blimey, QB, Misfit. This was before they had their mishaps,
All
and
right, hold
and
on.
like it was
Let
like a
me let
whole.
me let me pause you for 1 second, right? And let me do some more like narrative expletive like
I got you.
explanation for
I
like
got
these
you.
names, right? So like my verse is on Nick Cannon's Wildin' Out show, if I'm not mistaken, right,
No,
Sarah?
I don't think she's
No,
on it now, but she's been on
she's
it.
been
But
on it.
my
She's
verse has won an MTV award for her music contributions.
Mm.
okay.
So that
That
she's definitely done.
um uh you said who else?
Oh Blimey.
Oblimy, which we're gonna have on the show in a couple weeks.
Facts.
Um,
Right.
uh, uh, really talented
Misfit.
artist. She'll be able to like go into more depth of herself when she's on. Then you said who?
Misfit. And
Misfit,
Penn
who is
is bought Misfit. Hold on, pause real quick because I want to make sure this is very important. Penn brought Misfit to my attention on a phone call that, he's like, we're gonna book her. And we ended up booking Misfit, and Misfit needs to get credit for being one of the first Latinas in the game. This is pre my verse. You understand? Being one of the first
Yeah.
Latinas in the game to represent battle rap, you know what I'm saying? And I just want to give her flowers. She's doing an amazing job with her podcast, I think it's called My Stupid Advice, and being with Math Hoffa on My Expert Opinion and doing her music. I just wanted to shout out Miss Faye real quick, just to give
Yep.
her flowers. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Respect.
You just did the thing that I was gonna do, which was that list off the thing that she's, her podcast is really successful, and then she's on Matt Hoffa's podcast. So like these are all like
I've seen her
women
then. I've saw my
Yeah,
Hoffa's
yeah,
podcast before.
yeah.
She's the female. She's the female that sits in the other
Okay.
chair.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool.
And so, but the point is, like, these are all women that that have gone on to be very successful, and like, Sara definitely was like there early on championing the opening of the opportunities for all of them to have more of a platform, So
Right.
She didn't run a league, but she was the one setting up all these battles and opportunities for those women to shine out here in New York.
Like the one thing that I also wanted to point out too is shout out to Queen of the Ring, because that kind of like so kind of like segueing into that transition now, where now Pumpkinhead Pen takes over Grind Time. I bring it. I gotta say, I can't say we, because Pumpkinhead, if he was alive to this day, he'd be like, yeah, you brought him in as a battle rapper, but you ain't say nothing to me about everything else. And we will always like do things and be like, so Dutch is here. And he'd be like, he's staff at this point. Like we were like, yes, you agree, thanks, all right, yeah, great.
So
all right,
you snuck Flacky onto the board.
We didn't really sneak him in. He earned his way on. But we were just like, because at that time it was getting bigger and bigger, we needed the more help. You know what I'm saying? And a lot was landing on my lap
Talked about that in my last interview.
Like a lot started landing on my lap at the time. And I was just like, okay, well, we do need Dutch. I was like, because I can't handle everything like that as much anymore, because now my personality and the Sara Kana personality was starting to grow, and I was starting to get I was starting working with Star from Star and Buckwild. Shout out to my man Graham. And working with just different people and doing different events, you know what I mean? So that's how Dutch came into play. Once Penn took over, I made a promise to PH. I was like, don't worry, Penn's transition is going to be easy. And it was. And in that transition, I'm not going to lie to you, I got rid of a few battlers that didn't need to be in the vision that we were having going forward for the Grind Time East Coast brand. Because the one thing people need to understand, is that Pumpkinhead had a vision, and myself and Penn agreed with that vision. When Dutch came along, he agreed with that vision. And that vision was to bring battle rap back to New York City as the most dominant sport. At the time, it was in the West Coast, and it was being seen with Disaster and Awkwards, and, T-Rex was going out there. And we got to remember that before, URL did come along, and this is no slate to them because these are my hearts as well. Grind Time had laid this foundation down so that there can be an URL to come in the game and just dominate. So there can be a Queen of the Ring to come in the game and dominate. And I want to shout out, my brother Vague, because I had a relationship with Vague way before battle rap ever even came along. And shout out to Babs and Debo. When they started Queen of the Ring, they came to my crib, they sat on my couch, and they told me, yo, we want to make sure you knew we were going to do this, and we wanted your blessing. And at that time, it was different. Like, you were giving respect to the people that were paving that way, and they were giving me that respect. And from that day forward, I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Let's go. You know what I'm saying? And it was another platform, and shout out to them, because for me, my dream was to make sure there was something rotating for female battle rap. And if Queen of the Ring came out of that, then that's my dream come true.